Welcome to This Explainer, where we're going to unpack 7 major current affairs updates to reveal a much broader, honestly fascinating story of India in transition. We'll be looking at everything from extreme weather events to global UN rankings and defense strategies, all to really understand the complex realities of a rapidly evolving nation. Here is our roadmap for today. We've got Section 1, Climate and Energy Security. Section 2, Measuring Social Development. Section 3, Welfare and Grassroots Health. And finally, Section 4, Indigenous Milestones and Strategy.
All right, let's dive right into Section 1, Climate and Energy Security.
Let's start by breaking down that recent Mumbai red alert. So, in early July, the season's first monsoon depression formed over the Bay of Bengal, triggering heavy rains that totally disrupted flights and caused a massive landslide on the newly inaugurated Mumbai-Pune Expressway missing link. But the intense flooding in Mumbai itself, well, that's actually a governance issue. Heavy monsoon depressions are completely natural, but when you combine them with choked waterways, like the encroached Meedi River, and outdated drainage systems designed for just 25 millimeters of rain per hour, I mean, we're seeing cloudbursts dropping 100+ millimeters an hour now. That makes the city incredibly vulnerable. To fix this, the National Disaster Management Authority's monsoon mission shows us we desperately need a dual approach. It's all about balance. We have to pair nature-based solutions, like restoring mangroves and urban wetlands, with heavy, gray infrastructure. Think upgraded stormwater drains and high-capacity pumping stations. One without the other simply won't hold the water back. So the absolute crucial takeaway here is that our concrete jungles simply cannot absorb these intensifying climate shocks. The monsoon is getting more intense due to climate change, and our urban planning just has to evolve to match that new reality. Speaking of shocks, let's pivot from the weather to our energy supply. The recent crisis in the Strait of Hormuz, which is a vital global choke point, disrupted roughly 40% of India's liquefied natural gas, or LNG, imports. As the world's 4th largest LNG importer, this forced a pretty critical question. How do we actually secure our energy when global supply chains suddenly snap? Well, the solution isn't as simple as just hoarding fuel. See, unlike crude oil, which you can store relatively cheaply in underground caverns, LNG requires extremely expensive cryogenic storage at minus 162 degrees Celsius. That makes it 3 to 5 times more expensive to store. Because of this, the most pragmatic path forward is a hybrid model. We need to build some physical tanks for immediate worst-case emergencies, while heavily relying on virtual reserves, which basically means long-term supply contracts with flexible swing clauses for broader economic stability. And I think this brilliantly illustrates the geopolitical reality we face today. We are quite literally forced to build expensive cold storage to protect our economy against hot geopolitics. It's a necessary bridge as we transition toward a future powered by renewables. Okay, moving right along to Section 2, Measuring Social Development. Just look at this massive number, 94. India just jumped to 94th place out of 193 UN member states in the Sustainable Development Report 2026. This is a huge, highly significant climb from 112th place just a couple of years ago. But when we dig into the data behind that ranking, we see a real duality. We've made incredible strides in procuring the low-hanging fruit. Programs for rural sanitation, electrification, and financial inclusion have absolutely driven this rank up. However, we are still battling deep deficits in some really crucial areas. We're talking high stunting rates in nutrition, maternal health challenges, and lagging female labor force participation. So the progress is genuine, for sure. It's being driven by better data collection and massive welfare schemes like Swachh Bharat for sanitation and Ujjwala for clean cooking. But it's clear the summit of full, equitable social development is still a long climb away. Let's see how that looks on the ground in Section 3, Welfare and Grassroots Health. Here is a stunning achievement, 0. That is the number of maternal deaths for 8 consecutive months in Meghalaya's South Garo Hills district. To put that into perspective for you, India's national maternal mortality rate is 97 per 100,000 live births. Achieving literally 0 in a tribal, hilly, and infrastructure-deficient district is absolutely remarkable. Let's look at the actionable sequence that made this possible. Because it wasn't magic, it was a highly coordinated effort. They operationalized primary health centers to run 24/7. They deployed dedicated ambulances specifically built for hilly terrain. They mobilized incredible teamwork between local community health workers, the ASHAs and ANMs to track pregnancies, and they ensured cash delivery incentives from the Janani Suraksha Yojana were reliably provided. This just proves that with dedicated frontline workers and targeted logistics, even the toughest geographical and infrastructural barriers can be overcome. With the right local adaptations, this could be scaled to other tribal blocks across the country. On the broader welfare front, let's look at the recently launched VG-RAMG Rural Employment Act, which guarantees 125 days of wage employment at a 300 rupee floor wage. The union government just released 25,000 crore rupees for this. But take a close look at the funding split here, a 60-40 division between the center and the states. This is a noticeable shift from older models, where the center bore a much larger burden. Now, impartially speaking, while the 60-40 split does align with recommendations to give states more autonomy, it creates a pretty complex situation on the ground. States are facing immense fiscal pressure right now, right at a time when a monsoon deficit, forecasted by the Meteorological Department, threatens summer kharif sowing and world incomes. This double jeopardy means the demand for wage employment might surge precisely when states are stretched thin to fund their 40% share. Finally, let's wrap up with Section 4, Indigenous Milestones and Strategy. First up, defense. The Indian Navy is commissioning the INS Mahendragiri. This is our 6th Project 17A stealth frigate. Designed by the Navy's own Warship Design Bureau, it proudly boasts over 75% indigenous content. That is a massive milestone for the Atmanirbhar Bharat, or Self-Reliant India, initiative in naval modernization. However, the reality of that remaining 25% is equally important to understand. We still rely on imports for highly complex components like gas turbines and advanced sensors. This shows that while India has found a really strong medium complexity sweet spot in building frigates, we absolutely still need strategic technology partnerships to bridge the gap in higher-end systems. Switching from hard defense to soft power, India's making a really fascinating statement at the upcoming 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. The Indian sporting contingent will actually be wearing apparel made from a jute viscose blend. This is a complete first-frame major multi-sport event. And this isn't just about fashion, it's smart economics and diplomacy. Jute is a biodegradable, carbon-negative natural fiber. By blending it with viscose to improve the comfort, drape, and washability, India is elevating a traditional fabric. More importantly, this supports the livelihoods of over 50 lock farmers and mill workers, primarily in Bengal, Bihar, and Assam, projecting a powerful message of sustainable, circular economy fashion to the rest of the world. So, as we step back and look at all these diverse updates today, from surviving climate shocks in Mumbai to saving mothers in Meghalaya, from stealth frigates to sustainable jute at the Commonwealth Games, I want to leave you with a final thought. We are undeniably climbing the ranks and building impressive capabilities. But are we moving fast enough to bridge that critical gap between our highest technological ambitions and the pressing realities on the ground? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I encourage you to keep questioning and exploring these transitions alongside us. See you next time.